your news in your community. This is KRBC, Abilene's local news at 10.
Good evening. I'm Jessica Rank in for Kathleen Barkley.
And I'm David Bacon. Thank you for joining us tonight. With the passing of the 2018 bond election, Abilene ISD is planning and researching one of its biggest items, a career and technology high school.
Well, as the building will facilitate numerous programs and departments, the district is looking to get a better idea of the future of this facility, looking into current career and tech schools for inspiration. KRBC's Catherine Garcia has the details in tonight's top story.
From a college standard robotics classroom and laboratory, to a full-service auto shop, to a professional culinary arts facility. Representatives from Abilene ISD taking it all in, including Adams engineering teacher Allison Stanley.
It's exciting to know that they want to know what we need in our classrooms.
Superintendent Dr. David Young bringing on some of the district's high school faculty and staff, molding the image for the new career and technology high school.
When they walk into the welding lab, for example, I'm looking at the bright lights and the welding that's going on, but the teacher is looking at, wow, look at those storage racks and how they're putting all their material over there and they don't have to handle it twice.
Stanley's gears already turning as she toured, envisioning her ideal classroom.
I love whiteboard space. As an engineering teacher, I work with a lot of problems out. We need that space. And I was looking for space to build. Space to work on robots, and I've definitely seen that.
However, Dr. Young says it is important for the district to not get too caught up in the impressiveness of other career tech schools.
It's hard not to just walk in and say, wow, this is cool, but you know, you have to think about not only what does it cost to build a building, but also what's the 10-year cost, what's the 20-year cost.
As the research of other career and technology schools continues, the district looking to create a sustainable building while also giving students the ability to simply create. In the Metroplex, Catherine Garcia, KRBC, Abilene's local news.
Thank you, Catherine. Representatives from AISD say the scale of the facilities in the Metroplex does not exactly fit Abilene's size and infrastructure, but says the tours give them a better look at the details and maintenance for this large project. And we'll be getting to more local news coming up in about 60 seconds, but first, Dylan's here with your first check of the forecast.
Thanks, David. Out there tonight, getting a little bit cold, but we'll actually kind of level out here in a little bit. So, again, bear with me. It's not going to be as cold as last night, and tomorrow will be a much nicer day. But you got to enjoy it while it lasts because it won't last for very long. Clear skies for the most part all across the state for the most part, and again here in the big country, couple upper-level clouds out there. Temperatures hovering right around 40. We got down to 39 earlier, and again, we'll stick right about here for the rest of the night. So where we're at is about where we'll start tomorrow morning, anywhere from the mid to upper 30s to the lower 40s heading into tomorrow. So tomorrow afternoon, almost doubling our temperatures for today for some, getting back to the mid to upper 70s, maybe seeing a couple lower 80s tomorrow. That is not a typo. That is actually happening. And then we get another cold front tomorrow night. That's going to cool us off heading into the first few days of March. Guys?
All right, thank you, Dylan. A salute to some heroes at City Council tonight. You may remember this video that we showed you earlier this month when a Wiley ISD bus caught fire after being hit by an SUV. The bus driver and student on board at the time of the crash rescued by Good Samaritans that saw the crash happen and rushed in to pull the driver and student from the bus before it caught fire.
And tonight, a special reunion between those brave passerby and the two they rushed to safety. The group honored with plaques and coins for their bravery by Chief Candy Flores of the Abilene Fire Department and with a standing ovation by all in attendance. The bravery shown that day, something that Wiley student Alexandra Sigler and her parents say they'll never forget.
Hold your strength in and show that you're ready to move on.
We're just grateful to have her.
The surprise responders all took home a special plaque and an AFD coin.
Well, also before the City Council tonight, the final reading of an ordinance regulating those popular scooters that are flocking to corners all around town. We're talking about those bird scooters. The City Council approving to adopt an ordinance that would regulate scooter or bicycle share companies, requiring them to operate with a permit and give them regulations that, if not followed, could lead to the permit being taken away.
I do see this as something that is tourism development friendly. Bird seems to be a responsible company, and I think it's a good thing that you're taking this action.
Well, the ordinance also gives the city the power to regulate where these scooters and bikes can be parked in town when not in use.
And in other city news, a 100-day challenge organized by the mayor of Abilene labeled a success.
Texas, veteran homelessness has been eliminated.
Abilene Mayor Anthony Williams and other agencies announcing today that veteran homelessness has been eliminated in the Key City. That makes Abilene one of only 9 cities in the U.S. to claim that honor and the only city in the state of Texas. Organizers found housing for more than 60 veterans within 100 days. Mayor Williams and Michelle Parrish with the Community Foundation of Abilene credit data collecting systems that track homelessness as well as teamwork for reaching this goal.
I am so proud to stand here on this day with the achievement that not just the mayor or individual, but Team Abilene has accomplished today. And that's something all of us can be proud of.
The mayor and agency president said that the next demographic group that they'll try to help will likely be the chronically homeless. In an unsolved crime case, one relative of the murder victim is seeking answers at the Taylor County Jail. Jeanne Quinn was murdered and her body was found here in Abilene. She was reported missing from her home up in Levelland a few days earlier in April of this year.
Ricky Don Henderson is the only named person of interest in the murder of Quinn, and ever since then, John Quinn, Jeanne Quinn's uncle, has been wanting to speak with him. And today he got that opportunity to speak with Henderson at the Taylor County Jail. KRBC's Kelsey Pittman went and spoke with John Quinn. Quinn said that he was drained but satisfied after coming all the way from New Jersey to speak with Henderson.
I didn't get the answers I was looking for. I won't get any answers until it's solved. So that's the only time I'll get the answers I'm looking for.
Well, John says he will be open to speaking with Henderson again if that happens in the future.
In your community tonight, the NOAA Project expanding to meet the growing needs of domestic violence and the victims that are affected by that. Breaking ground on a new project today. The NOAA Project provides shelter and counseling for victims escaping dangerous situations. The Abilene facility is adding a new wing to the building. The executive director, Dan Cox, says they've seen an increase in victims since Abilene Police launched the lethality assessment program.
We just want to make sure that we don't turn anybody away who's in danger, because we don't want to read about them in the newspaper the next day and that they've been hurt simply because we didn't have a bed for them.
The wing expansion is expected to add another 8 rooms. This will add 52 new beds in a bigger laundry facility. This project is expected to be done by the fall of 2019. Right now, if Texans want to fight an expensive surprise medical bill, they can sometimes go through the Department of Insurance. But Texas lawmakers are proposing patients be taken out of that equation in billing disputes.
KRBC's Steffi Lee breaks down how this legislation would impact Texans in some of the most stressful health care scares. We found out more in tonight's Texas Report.
The health plans and the providers fighting over, their business interests, and I respect that.
But that fight is hurting Texans seeking care.
Why should a patient get caught up in the middle?
You owe us $108,000. Would you like to pay it in 1 payment or 2 payments?
Drew Calver's story went nationwide last year. He's an Austin teacher who was slapped with a hospital bill for more than $100,000 after suffering a heart attack. He successfully negotiated it down to just over $300.
And it was a huge relief once that bill was was taken away, but I shouldn't have had it. I should have just been focusing on staying healthy, reducing stress, and preventing another heart attack.
On Thursday, he stood alongside lawmakers from both parties presenting legislation to prevent what happened to him from happening to other patients.
Takes the burden off of patients. Takes it off of their plates completely.
This bill would prevent patients from getting surprise bills after getting treatment by an out-of-network doctor at an in-network hospital, like in many emergency situations. Doctors, hospitals, and health plans would have to negotiate payments through the Texas Department of Insurance.
It's a big issue right now. A lot of people are concerned about being stuck with that surprise bill because the healthcare is so confusing, so convoluted.
Ultimately, providers and health plans would be responsible for negotiating costs rather than patients like Drew.
Now, this bill would also apply to federally regulated self-funded health benefit plans. Lawmakers say these plans make up at least 40% of the Texas health insurance market. They could opt in under this bill and be covered by Texas law if this legislation is passed. Patients are still responsible for their copays and deductibles.
And in a quick update for you, the Storybook Saturday planned for March 2nd has now been moved to Saturday, March 23rd due to weather concerns. But the National Center for Children's Illustrated Literature and Dr. Seuss Storytime and Craft events will continue as normal. Now, you don't need to re-register as your current registration has already been transferred to the new date. And coming up on your local news, a chilling morning that brought havoc to Abilene's highways.
Plus, tomorrow not going to be quite as cold as today. Actually, a very nice spring afternoon heading your way before our real cold front comes through. If you can believe that, I'll look at that forecast coming up next.
This is KRBC Abilene's local news at 10 with Kathleen Barkley, David Bacon, and Chief Meteorologist Dylan Smith.